Last week, I ranked all 30 NFL stadiums from worst to best. So it's only right that now, since I've done the NFL, I move on to the NBA. And a lot of you viewers have suggested the same video idea. There are 29 unique NBA stadiums to rank from worst to best based off of the interior, the exterior, the overall convenience and things to do, as well as any special features the stadium might have. Now, just like my NFL video, this is strictly on the stadium itself and not the fan experience, in order to try to make this ranking as objective as possible. Now, this is absolutely the toughest ranking I've ever done, considering that a lot of the NBA stadiums look very similar and all follow the same design, which is very different from the NFL, in which a lot of the stadiums have complete different designs. So clearly, everybody's going to have a pretty different ranking on these NBA stadiums. So with that being said, put your rankings and your favorite stadiums in the comment section below, any important details that I missed, and anything other you'd like to comment on. Before we start, guys, make sure to check out my channel. If you guys do enjoy sports, you will enjoy my channel, as I cover all major sports, so you will never be short on content. With that out of the way, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy this video, but let's rank these 29 NBA stadiums from worst to best. At number 29, we have the Toyota Center. Now, this is the home of the Houston Rockets, and I will say there really isn't a bad NBA stadium. It's just in this case, some fall short to other more beloved and more detailed stadiums. With all the Toyota sponsorship, this stadium from the outside honestly just looks like a large Toyota dealership. So the exterior of the stadium is nothing special, and they definitely could update the interior as well. However, one thing going for the stadium though is the new alternate court with the astronaut dunking the ball in the center. That is a really nice looking court. With that being said, the stadium itself definitely needs some work. At 28, we have the Wizards Capital One Arena. Now, honestly, the exterior of the stadium, while it's not that flashy and it's one of the smaller entrances you'll see, it does look pretty nice. With that being said, the interior of the stadium does feel pretty soulless. It doesn't have much character to it. And the stadium is so mediocre that there's even talks about the Wizards possibly moving to Virginia. Now, I do kind of hope they stay in DC, as I think Washington is a good place for this franchise. However, if it means a much better stadium as well as branding, then I wouldn't be opposed to them moving to Virginia. At number 27, we have one of the funnier named stadiums, and this is the Smoothie King Center. Now, from an outside point of view, it looks decent. It looks just like a classic indoor NBA stadium. However, it is absolutely dwarfed by the next door Superdome. It makes the stadium look very small in comparison, but the interior, once again, nothing too crazy. The video boards in the center are nice, but there could be a little more character in the stadium, I guess. But it really just feels like your average run-of-the-mill NBA stadium. At 26, we have the Delta Center, home of the Utah Jazz. This stadium just seems very uninspired overall. I mean, the outside entrance and the plaza with the Jazz logo in the front is actually pretty nice, but you look at the center and it really is very soulless. Little color throughout the entire stadium, and even the new court is super oversimplified and honestly looks like a summer league court at best. The thing carrying the stadium is the nice video board above center court and the overall presentation of the main entrance. At 25, we have the Wells Fargo Center. Now, the 76ers play in this stadium, and honestly, the interior is solid. I've always liked the 76ers court, as well as the sound effects they use while they play. The seating is nice, and overall, the interior is pretty good. However, the exterior is very unconvincing. It just doesn't look that modern. The Wells Fargo Center sign seems very outdated, and its location is just a giant parking lot that is being shared with the Eagles and Philly Stadium as well. The main thing going for the stadium overall is the Philadelphia fans that do an absolutely amazing job at providing the energy here. But like I said, this is just a stadium ranking strictly. But lucky for you Philadelphia fans, you guys will have a brand new, beautiful looking stadium in the upcoming years. And I'll definitely make a new ranking video once these stadiums are out. At 24, we have Paycom Center, formerly known as Chesapeake, home to the Thunder. The outside of the stadium does look a tad outdated, even though there have been some renovations made, such as those green lights that you see on the outside. The court itself is decent, however the Paycom sponsor really clashes up against the overall blue theme, as it's a lighter green. But ignoring that, the interior of the stadium is solid and there's nothing really much to go off of here. I will say, as one additional bonus, the fans as well as the stadium managers do a great job at encouraging the fans to have different color-coded jerseys, especially come playoff time. Some of the playoff atmospheres here look absolutely insane with the color matching done by the fans. At 23, we have the FedEx Forum, home to the Memphis Grizzlies. The exterior of the stadium is nice. The entrance is filled with glass and FedEx Forum lights up. With that being said, it does kind of look like a FedEx warehouse. And as far as the interior goes, it's solid. Nothing really sticks out here, but the overall lighting, seating, and coloring are done pretty well. At number 22, we have the Barclays Center. As many of you know, this is the home of the Brooklyn Nets, and honestly, the exterior of the stadium is one of my favorites around the league. You either love it or you hate it, and I'm someone that loves it. I absolutely love the boldness the designers had and making such a unique stadium, and I also do enjoy the bio-friendly nature of it as well, as there's grass and shrubbery going around the stadium as well as on top. However, that does bring us to the interior of the stadium, and man is it lacking. It just feels very barren in there. There's no color whatsoever, and sometimes they put out the most atrocious looking courts. In addition, the seating configuration is pretty wonky, and there are some seats that give a limited amount of visibility to the court, so the exterior definitely carries the stadium. At number 21, we have the Frost Bank Center, home of the San Antonio Spurs. The outside of the stadium is pretty large as you're walking up to it. It reminds me a lot of the AT&T Stadium for the Dallas Cowboys, which is actually funny because this stadium was formerly known as the AT&T Center. But that being said, the exterior is done pretty nicely, and I do prefer the interior of this over the Nets interior, as I feel like they do the black court right. There's a lot of grays throughout the stadium that help break it up better and don't make the stadium seem so dark. And in addition, the video screens are nicer, and the seating configuration makes much more sense here. Opening up the top 20, we have the Moda Center, home of the Trailblazers. Now the exterior is very interesting here. It's kind of just like a larger structure, kind of like a dome in a way. Some parts look very barren, other parts are nice, especially with the red Trailblazers light going around the stadium. The interior is pretty solid as well. I've always liked the Trailblazers court, as it's very clean looking, they don't have any ugly sponsors on there, and they don't try to do too much with it either. And the seating arrangement is also well kept. At 19, we have the Scotiabank Arena, home of the Toronto Raptors. Honestly, a decent modern stadium. The exterior is nice, nothing too flashy, doesn't have too much going on. And the interior, same thing. The seating makes sense, the court always looks good, and they have a very impressive video board in the center. They also have the watch party area right outside of the stadium where all the fans can gather if they didn't buy tickets for the actual game. And I'm sure many of you guys have seen replays of these fans going crazy, especially during Kawhi Leonard's buzzer beater. So I think that's a really cool thing that they set up for the fans, so more people can enjoy the game overall. At 18, we have the Spectrum Center, home to the Charlotte Hornets. Now this stadium from an exterior, it was built in 2005, so you would think it looked a bit nicer. However, it does already look pretty outdated. With that being said, they have announced renovations to the stadium upcoming in the future years. But with that being said, the current stadium, the interior is actually really nice. Even just entering the main entrance, the whole plaza area opens up, and the interior, on the other hand, does indeed look very modern. The actual court area and court itself is very nice as well, as they actually cycle through multiple courts, and I like the look of all of them. The Hornets main court looks nice with the hexagon-shaped parquet, obviously representing the Hornets nest, and there's actually a Hornets nest lighting fixture right underneath the video board, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty much everything in this stadium is Hornet themed, so you see a lot of hexagons throughout. It's really crafty, all the ways in which they incorporate the team's theme. At number 17, we have the Target Center. Now, the Target Center houses the Minnesota Timberwolves, and once again, this is a common example of the stadium sponsorship make it look like what it's actually sponsoring. For example, the Target Center really just looks like a more modern Target, especially from some of these outside pictures. I mean, it even has the Target dog on the outside. Another one of those eco-friendly stadiums where the roof is actually entirely grass, which I am a fan of, and the interior looks really nice as well. As you can see though, these rankings are extremely tough, as a lot of these NBA stadiums kind of follow a similar blueprint, as the overall design and seating of all the stadiums is nearly identical for some of them. At number 16, we have the American Airlines Center, home of the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I'm a huge fan of the brickwork on the exterior of this building. I love when stadiums tend to feature this brickwork because it really blends in with the city nicer, as well as I just like the overall appearance better. So like I said, the outside is nice, it's well lit, and the plaza around it looks nice as well. And the interior of the stadium also looks very nice. I've always been a huge fan of the court. They keep it simple yet colorful. You can see kind of the canopy design on the inside of the stadium on all sides, which definitely gives a more unique approach than the classic stadium design we usually see. So I really like the uniqueness and just overall cleanness that the stadium has to offer. At number 15, we have the Nuggets Ball Arena. Now, even though the stadium was made back in 1999, it looks really nice and especially modern from the inside. The outside is cool too, as it follows a more circular design, very similar to Madison Square Garden. The main entrance is mainly comprised of glass, which looks really good here. And if you look at pictures of the interior of the stadium, it has everything one of the more modern stadiums has. A really nice large video board in the center, the court's done nicely, and all the amenities you could possibly need in a stadium. At number 14, we are now entering the upper half of NBA stadiums, and here we have the Footprint Center. Home of the Phoenix Suns, the Footprint Center actually has a really nice main entrance. The rest of the exterior is nothing special, but once again, it really is all about that main entrance, and you'll see it a lot during the broadcast pregame. And it looks brand new. The stadium has also gone through a variety of renovations to keep the interior looking new as well. With that being said, it is one of the smaller capacity stadiums in the league, with a relatively small capacity of 17,071. But with that being said, they make sure to do it in style, as the main inside lobby areas look very new and well kept. And with less seats, that does also mean that there really isn't a bad seat in the stadium, as all seats have a very good unobstructed view of the court. At 13, we have the United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls. And this is one of the larger stadiums. I mean, you can just see it from the outside, but as well as the inside. First of all, let's talk about the exterior of the stadium. The exterior stadium is large and boasting, but not really anything particularly special. It pretty much is just a giant concrete building, but I will say the interior is really nice. I've always loved the Chicago Bulls court. The Jumbotron looks great. And this stadium actually has the largest capacity in the NBA of 20,917, so definitely can fit in a large amount of people for one game. They have a really nice Michael Jordan statue in the front of the stadium as well, and it really helps to have that success as you have the beautiful Chicago Bulls championship banners running along the top of the stadium. At number 12, we have the iconic Crypto.com Arena, Staples Center. Although the Staples Center branding was better than the current Crypto branding, nothing with the stadium changed except the actual sponsorships on the front of the stadium. This currently is the only stadium in the NBA that houses two NBA franchises, both the Clippers and the Lakers. Obviously, that's soon to change with the Clippers' brand new Intuit Dome, which looks like it's going to be probably a top 3 stadium in the league. Once again, there will be an updated video once all the new stadiums are officially in use. But back to the Crypto Arena, it is very impressive how this arena seamlessly transitions between two teams. And one thing I find funny is that the Clippers actually have a higher capacity during their games of an additional 71 seats. The stadium has that iconic main entrance in the front, and I love how the stadium just illuminates blue during nighttime. It looks extremely nice, and the exterior is done very well. I pretty much enjoy both the Clippers and Lakers interiors the same. However, I do prefer the Lakers court a bit more to the Clippers court, but at the same time, when the Clippers have their branding inside the stadium, it appears to be more light than the Lakers' overall darker appearance. So once again, kind of going back and forth there, it doesn't really make a huge difference. But I will say one really nice part of the stadium is the top section that has all the banners, retired jerseys. This stadium is definitely one of the better ones in the league. But as you can see, we're already starting to get to some of the best NBA stadiums here, as all these are top tier. At number 11, we have the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Now, I love these fieldhouse stadiums in the NBA because, hence the name, they tend to let in a lot of natural light into the stadium. This is definitely one of the better looking stadiums from the outside. I mean, look at it. Transparent on all sides, and you can actually see part of the concourse within. And the interior of the stadium is even better. Absolutely impressive video boards that have pyrotechnics connected to each side. I absolutely love the Cavaliers court and how it features a tiny Cleveland skyline on the bottom. And the seating arrangement is done really well here. One of the more vertical stadiums, but it works out well. Kicking off the top 10, we have the Little Caesars Arena. Home to the Pistons, this is one of the newer stadiums in the league, opening in just 2017, and it looks simply amazing. Once again, I absolutely love the design aspect of the brickwork as well as the combination of the bricks and glass. The exterior is done very well, super modern, and it's like a whole shopping district area as well, with plenty of things to do around the stadium. And the interior is no different. Very impressive seating, as it contains a capacity of 20,332, one of the highest in the league. And just overall, a very nice looking interior. They have a bar courtside. The seating arrangement is nice, and they have all these cool features and light shows that they do pre-game. One of the more technologically advanced stadiums in the league. At number 9, we have the State Farm Arena, home to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, even though it has the smallest capacity in the league of 16,600, it definitely makes up for that in appearance. The outside is done really nicely as the supports actually make out the city name Atlanta. The rest of the exterior looks pretty nice, but the interior is absolutely beautiful. Even though the stadium was built in 1999, the renovations that have been made on the stadium look simply incredible. The stadium visually from the inside looks like one of the newer stadiums in the league. They constantly are switching out different types of courts, which all look amazing. The video board, Jumbotron in the center is great as well. And there's also video boards on each corner of the stadium. There's also kind of this DJ booth as well as club behind one of the hoops. It's just a simply stunning arena to play in. At number 8, we have the Magic's Kia Center. Now, once again, a new stadium being built just in 2010. The exterior of this stadium absolutely carries. It looks simply magnificent. The glass entrance, the tower in the front of the stadium. The plaza around the stadium is nice as well. It simply illuminates. And honestly, it's one of the better looking plaza areas that we see all around the NBA. But the actual interior seating area of the stadium looks really nice as well. It features honestly one of the most impressive Jumbotrons we see league-wide. The court always looks clean, and they have some clean alternate courts too that they swap out every once in a while. and the presentation of the interior is well kept and beautiful. At number 7, we have the neighboring Florida Stadium. This is the Kobebryant Center in Miami. Home to the Heat, it fits in with the Miami architecture perfectly, and it's in an even better spot than the Orlando Stadium. It's in a convenient location and is situated really nicely by the water. Honestly, it might very well be my favorite location for a stadium around the league, surrounded by water, beautiful palm trees, and the outside looks amazing. Honestly, the interior of the stadium is really nice as well. The seating arrangement is pretty standard, however, I do like how the seats are different colored throughout the stadium, reflecting different Miami Heat colors such as red, orange, yellow. The Heat court always looks very nice, and the Jumbotron, while yet on the smaller side, it does feature a really cool architectural piece, which I don't necessarily know what it is in the center, but it does look cool. Once again, you have all the numerous Miami Heat banners going across the top, which looks great, and this is one of the better stadiums in the league. At number 6, we have the Celtics TD Garden. Now, the overall exterior when you're driving up to this stadium from the bridge actually doesn't look that great. However, the main beauty of the outside of the stadium is the entrance. You have to go up the escalator to the main entrance, but it's surrounded by a beautiful pavilion area with different places to eat. It's one of the most convenient spots that we see in the stadium, as it's featured right in the heart of Boston near North Station. And in the background, Zakim Bridge looks very beautiful right next to the garden. In addition, the inside of the stadium is done amazing as well. They've had some renovations. They used to feature some pretty ugly yellow seats around, but since then they've made it a much cleaner and sleek black color, which fits the stadium more nicely. The black and green combination throughout the stadium looks absolutely beautiful, as well as the countless Celtics banners above the Jumbotron. Convenient to get to, with plenty of things to do around the area. Entering our top 5, we have the absolute iconic Madison Square Garden, the most iconic stadium in the league by far. If you watch my NFL video, this is just like the Lambeau of the NBA. And even though it is extremely old, being built all the way back in 1968, this stadium still holds up very well. It has a large capacity of 19,812. I love the exterior kind of circular shape. It still looks really good from an outside appearance today, as the outside fixture has all these different light patterns and packages that it plays throughout nighttime. They've obviously done the renovations, as it literally was made about 60 years ago. And the interior feels so old school. It has that old kind of roof. The Madison Square Garden Jumbotron in the center. The court looks nice. You have the organ playing throughout the game. It's just a really classy, old school feel, and it does a great job at combining elements from more modern designs and pairs it perfectly with the vintage aspects that we see of the original Madison Square Garden. At number 4, we have the Pacers Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Now, Indiana really knows how to do sports stadiums. Beautiful brick fixtures along the outside of the stadium, combined with large glass windows that let plenty of natural light within the stadium. It literally is the Lucas Oil of the NBA. The whole pavilion and things to do, eateries around the area are really nice. The inside of the stadium is beautiful as well, with a nice video board, clean court, and of course those giant windows that will let natural light in the stadium. A simply genius design. I love the Fieldhouse stadiums, and they really knock this stadium out of the park. Entering the top 3, earning the bronze, we have the newest stadium in the league, the Chase Center. Now, this stadium opened in 2019 and is home of the Golden State Warriors. And while it did replace the beloved Oracle Arena, this stadium looks very nice as well. The front entrance is absolutely beautiful with glass along the outside, and it's also in a very nice part of San Francisco, right along the water. In terms of quality, the interior is no different. It features a really nice interior with a bunch of modern food vendors that are really nice and quite different from vendors that you see at a normal stadium. A beautiful seating arrangement with a perfect view of the court and the extremely massive video board in the center. And this is one of the more vertical stadiums, so you really get a nice overtop view of the players playing. At number 2, we have Fiserv Forum, home of the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, probably my favorite exterior out of any of these stadiums. It just looks beautiful, fits the Milwaukee area perfectly. There's glass on all sides, covered by that nice wood covering that goes on the outside and top of the stadium. A large plaza area, and it's in a really nice part of Milwaukee near all these breweries and restaurants, so it's in a convenient location as well. And the interior looks extremely modern. I love the Milwaukee Bucks court, and the seating arrangement is beautiful as well. But at number 1, the best stadium in the NBA is the Golden One Center. Home to the Sacramento Kings, built in 2016, the Golden One Center is simply incredible. The ridged metal exterior is a very interesting design concept, but they pull it off perfectly. It looks very interesting and eye-grabbing at the same time. The whole entrance plaza area, once again, beautiful stuff as well. Well lit up, right in the heart of Sacramento. And the interior of the stadium is amazing. Beautiful court, and plenty of open windows to let let natural light in this stadium as well. From all sides, this stadium looks very impressive and has probably the coolest feature out of any stadium where they will light the beam after every single home victory. This beam is just a large purple beam that shoots out from the top of the stadium, and it can be visible up to 10 miles. A really awesome idea, and hopefully we see more of that beam going off this year. But with all these aspects considered, I believe the Golden One Center is the best stadium in the NBA. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy. It definitely seemed like I was beating the bush there a lot, definitely towards the end of the video, as after about 10 stadiums, there really isn't much more to say about the interior, considering a lot of the interior on NBA stadiums is exactly the same. But like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy my rankings. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and put your rankings down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next Heaps video.